Hello, this is Erica Mabian with Kansas City Public Schools. Welcome to KCPS Homeroom. I have an experiment for you today. I'm so excited. It's a case of the infection detectives, a code for COVID. All right, let's get started. And today we're going to investigate to see how to protect ourselves from germs and to keep us healthy. I know everybody's excited for that. Your experiment today is 3 colors of food coloring, whole milk or whipping cream. You need a flat plate, 1 Q-tip, and some liquid detergent. Maybe some from your kitchen or from your laundry room. But all soap works as long as it's liquid. So go ahead and gather those things so that you'll be ready for our experiment today. Alright, so our objective today is we're going to have you identify the disease agent causing the simulated disease outbreak. Yes, that's right. And using your scientific thinking, you're going to deduce a likely solution to prevent this infection. So here we go with our vocabulary. We have to use our super scientific words. Our first word is susceptible. This is a person who can be infected by the communicable disease. Second is infected. That is the person who has the communicable disease. And then finally, our communicable disease is what is being touched and caught, or maybe you get it from an animal or from other things that are around you. But this is what you get when you are sick. All right, how do we spread germs? Sometimes people don't cover correctly when they cough. Sometimes our infections, diseases, or our germs come from rubbing your eyes or rubbing your nose, or sometimes just by touching surfaces, people's hands, different things that have germs on them. Now, it's experiment time. Do you have all your things? Remember, we need 3 kinds of colors for our food coloring. You need heavy whipping cream or some whole milk. You need a flat plate, a Q-tip, and some liquid detergent. Here we go with our germ fighting demonstration. The first thing you're going to do is pour in your milk and make a light layer of milk on your plate. And next you're going to add your colors right to the middle. Maybe you put about 4 drops of each color. That's my green, that's my blue, and the last color I'm choosing is yellow. Take your Q-tip and put it in your soap and get it fully saturated all around. And when you put your Q-tip in your milk on top of your colors, you'll notice that this fat that's in the milk is not going to like the cleaning agent of our soap. Think about when you wash your hands and you're trying to get rid of the germs. The germs are going to be the colors in the milk and the fat from the milk, and you washing your hands is going to be the soap. And do you think those germs are going to like being cleaned? Let's find out. I'm going to gently tap my Q-tip in there and watch as the colors run away. They do not like the soap. If I put my Q-tip or my soap in another spot, the germs will continue to run away from the soap. No matter where you put that soap, the germs do not like it and that fat runs away. And that's what it's like when we wash our hands and those germs are on our hands and we put in the soap. Those germs do not like that soap and they try to run away. But the more you scrub and scrub for your 20 seconds, 20 whole seconds, then that helps those germs get off of your hands onto the soap bubbles and rinse away. That has been our germ fighting demonstration. You should try it at home and find out how you can fight germs. Let's keep going with our lesson. Let's find out. Did you wash your hands correctly? Remember to use plenty of soap. Wash the tops and the bottoms, in between the fingers and the fingernails for 20 whole seconds. Sing the happy birthday song twice, or your favorite song that you come up with. Maybe you make your own hand washing song. The next thing that we want to think about is looking at our hands. This is a simulation of what it looks like when you have germs on your hands. We've used a black light and some special solution. If you notice, there are even germs on the wrist, in the crevices, and right along the base of all of those fingertips and all of those portions of the hand. But when we wash our hands with just water, that was the water, it didn't work. So we're going to have to use a lot more work to get those germs off. If we wash our hands for 5 seconds, I noticed that we did get a little bit of relief from those germs being gone from some of the surfaces on the hand. But even when we washed it for 10 seconds, I still see that there are germs on the surface of our hands. So if you wash for the entire 20 seconds, you will see that all the germs will be gone, gone, gone. The whole time. I see there are no germs on the wrist. There are no germs on the inside of the hands or along the fingers. They're nice and clean. No germs by the fingernails either. So make sure you wash really well and get all of those germs off. Let's talk more about those germs and what it looks like when we have a virus or a cold. This is a picture of a common germ or cold that makes you sick. So on the outside, they thought that the coronavirus resembled the sun because it has all the spikes that like our sun has when we look at it. So on the inside are all the germs. They are being protected by the outer shell. So whenever we wash, you have to penetrate all the way through. Think of an M&M, how it has the shell on the outside and the creamy milk chocolate on the inside, but you have to get through that shell. The same way when you wash, you have to wash and wash and wash and use all of that soap and the vigorous action that you use when you rub in order to get through the shell to get to the inside where the germs are, and you can kill those germs. So when we think about that soap, the soap is here on the outside of the germs. It's doing its best job to penetrate through the shell, but it needs a helper. The helper that it needs is water. The H2O comes with that soap and they're ready to party and get rid of those germs. They rub and rub with the water and the soap and the vigorous action, and that will help it penetrate through. And they're working really hard to get through that shell. And I see the soap. They're working hard to get to the germ. And if you keep on rubbing, then finally you'll break the bond. Think about if you have your hands clasped together. Or maybe when we played Red Rover, it's just like that. You keep rubbing and you rub and you scrub with that soap and that water, and you keep on breaking the bonds till they finally are open. And that's what happens when we rub and we scrub with that soap and that water, and you have to do it for the whole 20 seconds. So, why do we use soap to defeat the Corona-19 virus? Well, the soap is an amphiphilic. And that means that it loves water. Now, it also is a hydrophilic. And both of them together, they also like to go with the lipophilic. And that means it loves the fat and the lipids. So put the fat and the lipids together and the water, and that is your recipe for getting rid of the germs. We wash and wash with that soap for 20 seconds. And some of us were thinking about how it's going to break up those molecules and pull them apart and rinse away when you use the water and the soap. it doesn't really replicate the same kind of action that happens when you use hand sanitizer. So let's think about that comparison. When you get your hand sanitizer and you take a couple of squirts, you're able to rub and scrub, but we don't have a way to rinse away the germs. So be sure the next time you get a chance, after you get somewhere where you can wash, is to go ahead and use that soap and that water to get rid of those germs and wash them away and break those bonds, because the soap and the water, they like to go against that fatty lipophilics. So let's keep going. All right, so now we're ready to code the corona. Are you ready to do the activity with the coding? I know you are. So if you are maybe 3rd grade to 6th grade, you would be really great to do Code the Corona on our simulation game with Scratch. I'm going to show you my game that I use to code the corona, and you will be able to make a game as well. Now we're ready to code the corona. Did you open up your Scratch program? If you go to scratch.mit.edu, you'll be able to make your own Code the Corona. So this was my game that I created. I was thinking of a socially distant game that we could remind our friends of how they need to be socially distant. So I grabbed 2 characters, 2 sprites from the kitty cat there. If you hover over, it will let you choose a sprite, and you can pick whatever sprite you like and that you want to have as your characters. And then I chose the backdrop. If you click the backdrop section, it will open and you can pick where you want them to do their coding. So I chose, when I click the green flag, Avery's going to walk, and if she touches the other girl, she's going to go away and hide, and then she's going to bounce back to the edge. She's going to say, I need to wash my hands, and then we're going to be ready to look at the other character. For the other character, I programmed her to walk as well, and she is going to bump into the other character, and she's going to say, 6 feet, please. So when I click the green flag, we're going to be able to see the program in action and how it works. Here we go. There they're walking. I need to wash my hands. She disappears. She comes back. They say 6 feet, please. And then they'll come back. If they touch, they say 6 feet, please, or I need to wash my hands. You could develop whatever type of game that you want. Maybe you want a ping pong game. Maybe you want your characters to do other things. Maybe you could figure out how to put masks on your characters. But you can have all the fun that you want in your own coding game on Scratch. This has been Erica Mabian for KCPS Homeroom. Send all of your Scratch programs, #KCPS Homeroom. Have fun coding.